Hello. Some weeks ago, a colleague of mine, listening to a presentation I was making, said to me, Phil, you ought to explore this topic on its own. And I want to thank Mark for the suggestion. The topic is a tough one. It's organizational emotional intelligence. You know, when we started our firm Above Par Advisors some 8 years ago, we were actually focused entirely on institutional resiliency, which is football fields away from what it often gets confused with, which is disaster recovery and business continuity. They really have nothing to do with each other. What emotional and institutional resiliency actually is understanding and planning how an organization addresses impacts and dramatic changes in the markets and fields that they choose to operate and compete in. I handled that field for decades, and I was always asked the same question. And the question is, what's the one question that gets often missed the most? But let me introduce myself. I'm Phil Hecht. I'm the CEO of Above Par Advisors. We are a business strategy, design, and transformation consultancy. We help organizations with change, navigate change versus struggle with it. Back to resiliency. The question that is often missed is this: how do we handle the personal impacts of an event, a pandemic, or a situation versus how the organization responds to it? That's a tough question to ask, and it's an even tougher question to answer. You see, institutional resiliency is coming back and adapting rather quickly. But what is least understood is the fact that the impact on the people, our valuable resources who help us run our organizations, is far longer than it takes the institution to respond. The difference between those two and not embracing it is functionally not understanding organizational emotional intelligence. Embracing it, doing something about it, recognizing it, and supporting our people in the toughest of times. And if we are not in the toughest of times and the most dramatic change in generations, I don't know when it would be. But that said, embracing it is the beginning of organizational emotional intelligence, a topic that needs to be explored further. Never sell your team short, but understand the impact on individuals does not equal them selling you and your organization short. I'd love to have this conversation with you a little further. Visit our site, drop a comment or two on how this is affecting your organization. Let our team meet with your team and have a conversation about what we might do together to improve your organizational emotional intelligence. Thanks. See you next time.